What's good, YouTube? It's Ben Kennan coming at you again with the new year 2018. Hoping to share with you guys some of the goals that I have in mind. Basically, this channel, if you guys don't already know, is dedicated to kind of my journey as an entrepreneur. This will be the first official year where I kind of release everything, put everything on the table, and let everybody know what I'm actually up to. And I really want to do this because I want to share the experience with you guys, and hopefully, you guys get some value out of it. So today we're talking about goals, and I have four things I'm going over with. Now, Ty Lopez calls these the pillars of life, and it sounds super spiritual, sounds really up in the air. It's honestly not. It's actually pretty cool. So we have health, wealth, love, and happiness. So I'm going to be breaking these down for you guys really quickly, as well as some financial goals, because everybody, at least my age, they're trying to make something from themselves, right? They realize, hey, maybe college might not be getting me to where I actually need to go in life, and that's kind of where I am right now. But more on that a little bit later. But I just want to go over some goals with you really quickly. So, all right, guys. So here in my Microsoft Word document, I'm going to be showing you guys my goals. So check this out. I have the plan, and this is going to be for the next 2 years. And if you guys are wondering why this is a 2-year plan, not a 1-year plan, is because success takes around like 18 months. It takes 18 months to develop something for yourself and actually gain any sort of traction. So I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up until this time has passed, until January 1st of 2020. All right. Now, the first thing I want to go ahead and do is break down the psychology about why I'm doing this, so you guys can get a little bit better of an understanding of where I'm coming from and who I am. Okay. So check this out. I'll read this to you, and it reads, I would have spent 2 years in college, not expecting to make over $100,000, but wanting to. I took this journey because I saw no value in the current education system bubble and saw massive opportunity in the entrepreneurial field. I cannot expect to make massive amounts of money within 2 years. It takes learning first. I need to mold my mind to speak the language of money. I need to trust in God and step into the field that He has laid out for me. If education would have taken me 2 years to generate a modest income, I will not blink or second guess the process until 2 years has passed. Today is January 1st, 2018. Once it is January 1st, 2020, I will look back and reflect, and my plan is as follows. So check this out, guys. We're going to be getting into, like I said, those four pillars, a little bit of psychology behind this, because if you guys don't already know, psychology, there's levels to this, there's pillars to this, right? So at the very top of the level, some people call these different, self-actualization, whatever, but at the top of it, psychology, it's the inner workings of your mind. And that sounds crazy, right? But it is very, very important to have basically the inner workings of your mind, the foundation, so you can build upon that. So there's a couple different steps. The first I have laid out is the learning curve, right? And I said that would take around 18 months because this is so new. I'm gonna give myself about 18 months to kind of learn the ropes and figure everything out. And you guys are gonna go through this with me, all right? So I'm starting today. The second step is going to be called being, a practitioner, right? Is practicing what you do, not just, saying, and not just, mental masturbation, not just fucking, speaking a bunch of theory, but not actually getting anything done, right? And success is really 50% planning and 50% doing, okay? So I'm going to be kind of breaking up my time into those two categories. Now, step number 3 is becoming an expert. Hopefully I can start to become an expert within 2 years. And this is a lifelong journey, right? This does not stop. This will never stop. I mean, learning is everything, right? After that, it's continued growth. All right, so here I have the pillars and kind of breaking down everything for you. Health, wealth, happiness, which is going to be more spiritual, more psychological. And the next one is going to be love, which is social, right? It could be friends, it could be family, it could be your partner, whatever. And I'll break down kind of my goals here. Now, the schedule, and this is going to be not your typical schedule. This is going to be the schedule of, basically the checkpoints that I want to be and how would I want to be. Now, I've always had these mental, figures in my head, these mental numbers in my head. I've never actually written them down, and it's very important, from what I understand, to write them down, to look at them, because visualization is key to success, from what I've heard, right? So the first goal, if you guys can see it here, I want to make $300,000 income. So that's what I'm taking home. That's going to be my net profit, right? Post taxes, post everything. And say I have a margin of 35% in whatever I'm doing. I'm going to show you guys I have about 7 different sources of income. I need to make about $850,000. And what's cool about this, and I'm going to be doing a couple different series on speaking the language of money. If you guys don't already know, investing is key. It is key. So just roll with me here. I'll get into this later this year. But I'm going to say I'm going to invest about 20% of this money at a expected return of 8%, which is a little, I mean, it's good returns, don't get me wrong, but it's a little low. Most people do shoot for around 10%. So I'll say at the end of being 21, I'll have around $66,000 in my holdings, right? All right, guys, so now we kind of went over some of my monetary goals, and in part two of this video, I'm going to be really breaking that down, really getting to the dirt of the video. Just like I said, Gary Vaynerchuk has this theory, he calls it clouds and dirt. Clouds is the theory, the dirt is what's going to be in part two, that's the how-to, okay? So these are some of my goals. I want to have at least 10,000 followers, subscribers, likes, whatever the platform is, by July, and 30,000 by December at the very minimum. I want to, dream car or truck rather is a Ford Raptor. I want to get one of those. I want to remodel my home. I also want to get a dirt bike. I've always loved doing that, but I haven't been able to afford it recently. Like I said, $300,000 profit. I also want to have $66,000 in my safety bucket, and I'll get into more of why I call it safety bucket the year end of 2018. I also want to read and study one psychology book every single month. I also want to launch 2 e-commerce websites, and this is not going to be including any sort of like personal branding that I do. This is strictly like Shopify and stuff like that. Right below is personal branding. I also want to create a subscription-based service, maybe a software as a service. I'm not entirely sure. I might do like if you guys have heard of Ipsy boxes, or Tai Lopez has his mentor box, same idea. Some of the books I want to read Iron Cowboy, about this guy. He is a runner that should talk about mental toughness, crossing the chasm, and smart pricing. Those are just marketing books. I also want to participate in some charity events. I want to morning journal, daily meditation. I also want to do some principles journals, and this goes back to the Ray Dalio kind of principles, and he actually has a book called literally Principles, and this is basically how he's been so successful in life, and he really breaks it down to the minutia, the very, the very beginning of the problems, right? Because he noticed that there's themes in life, just reoccurring themes that happen all the time, and he noticed that all these can pretty much be solved in the same way. And also daily write down problems that can be fixed. And this goes back to a business idea. For the first 90 days, I'm gonna write down just simple everyday problems that I see in the world. Doesn't matter. It could be, my toothbrush falls in the sink too often, whatever it may be. And create some sort of business idea, and then I can review that and see what most aligns with my talents and what most aligns with what I would like to do. So talents and what I would like to do, and where those intersect is kind of where you want to go in life. All right, so now we went over a little bit of things. We went over the wealth portion, a little bit of just the bullet point goals, but I really want to get back to those pillars like I was talking to you about, some Tai Lopez theory basically. So I'm gonna hop into my other document where I elaborate a little bit more on my wealth goals, my health goals, happiness, and love goals. All right, so we're here in my Excel document looking at these goals once again. Now, a lot of this, I know it's a lot of it is blurred out right now. I'm going to be showing you most of this in video 2, if not all of this. You guys are lucky I'll show you all of it and how to kind of plan. But I want to show you guys these goals, right? So check this out. So this sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm completely out of my mind, but it's possible, guys, and it's going to happen. I'm going to reference this video in a video I do later this year, and I'll show you guys that I was being legit, that I wasn't, on. So this is what I'm going to do. The total for the year, I'm going to make $1.4 million, okay? Sounds crazy, $1.4 million. So the net income, minus all of the margin, minus all of the other things like taxes and stuff, I'm going to bring home around $472,000. Okay, and check this out. I have it really kind of broken down here. So taxes, I'll pay around $315,000, and 20% of my income I'm actually going to invest. So about $157,000 in what I call this safety bucket earlier in this video, and I'll kind of elaborate what that means. Now for savings, I'm going to have around, I believe I said 20,000 plus this 12 at the very bottom here, so that's going to be about $32,000. I'm also going to invest around $39,000 in things that'll give me more growth. Okay, so a little bit more risky returns, but a little bit more growth. And I'll show you guys all this. Just stick with me through this journey. I'm also going to tithe or give back around $78,000 for my truck, my dream truck. I'm going to probably put around $70,000 into it. They're pretty expensive. They're you can buy them for around 70. They retail for around 90, but I'm doing around 70. I also want to buy a dirt bike, and has a lot of expenses with that. The bike itself is around 5 to 6 used is what I'm planning on getting, and then you have your gear and then the track expenses and whatnot. So I put around 10 for the year. If you guys don't know what these are called side-by-sides. They're just super fun. I'm really into outdoor things. So I'm going to buy a razor that's around $20,000. And I'm going to improve my house. Now, I already have a house. It's actually an investment property that my dad and I bought when I was 18. I'll show you guys that a little bit later. But kind of a little briefing right there. And I have something called an offering. That's just basically up and above what I'm going to give to charity, just kind of like a write a check kind of thing, about $25,000, what I want to do. I want to pay off my debt, and right now I have around $20,000 worth of debt. So the total expenses are $776,000, okay? If you guys see here, the taxable income is, so that's how I'm going to have left over. It's around $12,000, and what I said, I'm going to bump that over to savings because I want to have some cash reserves that I'll basically put into real estate later. So we're going to go down here. So I'm going to show you guys my total net worth. So my safety bucket, and again, I'm sure you guys want to know what that means, and I'll show you guys. I'll have around $165,000. Now, if you remember earlier in the video, hopefully you guys don't have Alzheimer's. Now, what you guys may be thinking is that is a lot more, and it is. All right. So I'll be happy if I make $300,000, but this is practicality. What I think I'm actually going to make. Now that's crazy that I said, hey, I want to make $300,000. That'd be fantastic, right? 35% margin, about $850,000. But I actually broke this down, and I literally think I can make $1.4 million. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm going to do that throughout this entire journey. Now, come down here to my net worth. So I have safety bucket. Like I said, 165,000. I really want to get into cryptocurrency. I have some assets in it right now, but I'm going to split between cryptocurrency and some other riskier investments. I'll have around $61,000. In my savings account, I'm going to have around $71,000. In my house equity, I'll probably have around $46,000 by the end of next year. And again, that is split with my dad, because he owns part of this house. And, just other assets I have around a house, $67,000. So my total net worth, provided I don't owe anything, will be $410,000. Awesome. Sorry about that pause, guys. If you guys notice, I'm wearing a different outfit. It got a little cold here, but your boy's back. So let's get right back into it. So like I said, we're kind of going over the wealth portion of my goals right now. I already talked about basically what I'm gonna be doing, or at least the goals. I haven't talked to you guys or showed you quite yet what I'm gonna be doing. But right here, what's in front of me is actually gonna be for my work, for my current employment. If you guys don't know, I am employed. I don't get any of this stuff for free, right? So this is kind of what I am. I'm on a commission and salary based. So I said I'm gonna work around 35 hours a week. Here you have your total hours. Here's my rate, get around $21 an hour. So that's going to be the total right here. Commission, I'm estimating these as, pretty much exactly what I made last year. This is pretty much what I made last year for commission. So we have the totals, and this is the total right here for the first 3 months. Now, if you guys notice, I only have 3 months in here, and that's because my goal is actually to quit my job in the next 3 months. And I'm not going to disclose where I work. If you guys happen to know, kudos, but I'm not going to throw them underneath the bus like that because they are definitely a good employee, or employer rather. So yeah, that's kind of what I have here. That's pretty much it for this. Now let's get into health. And health is extremely, extremely important. If you guys don't feel good, you're not going to be able to, actuate or potentiate your goals. You're not going to carry them through. You're not going to have enough energy. You're not going to feel well enough mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever. Okay. So these are some of my goals. I haven't gone to the gym for a couple of years now. So these are my goals right here. Now I'm going to be kind of focusing on strength this year. Not too much on size. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. Just want to get stronger, smarter, faster, stronger, right? So right here, this is what I currently am at for bench, around 230. For squat, around 250. Overhead press, which is just this motion right here, about 135. And for deadlift, about 300. Now my goals at the bottom, those are going to be 315, so up about 90 pounds. Or 3 plates if you guys lift. Squat, I'm trying to do 350. Overhead press, I'm going to do 2 plates, 225. And deadlift will be 4 plates at 405. And I kind of broke down where I should be every single month. And I can't stress the importance of this enough. I mean, you guys need some sort of benchmark, and you don't just need a goal like, hey, I want to be rich. You need figures, strong, solid figures that you can kind of base your stuff off of, right? Because if it's just this goal, some just far off in the distance, you don't know necessarily what you're striving for. You don't have any sort of benchmark. You don't have any sort of rubric to grade yourself and see how you're doing. Self awareness is honestly so important. So these goals, I think that they are very attainable. And the way I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna have to start eating a lot more. Mainly protein-based diets, right? So I say 46 meals a day, about 50 grams of protein each meal. Friday we'll have a cheat day because nobody's perfect. And we have the psychology. This is going to be the third pillar, known as the love and happiness, right? So I said that there's 2 phases. I'm going to practice and then I'm going to preach because I don't know too much about this or any of the other stuff. So I'm kind of just practicing. I'm showing you guys my journey. I'll give you recommendations based on what I'm doing, but I'm not going to criticize anybody because I don't know this stuff quite yet, right? So I'm going to say that I'm going to do reading some books. I'm currently in the middle of a book called Transcend, a super interesting book. I'm going to practice meditation, not the weird like third eye, Buddha, whatever meditation, just something to just kind of clear my head. Just more of like a relax. It's just for like relaxation purposes. I'm gonna practice gratitude. Just being grateful. I'm gonna practice, not practice, but try and focus more on my religion. I am a Christian, so just kind of getting back to my roots there. I'm gonna focus a lot more on my relationship. I want to be obviously the best boyfriend that I can be. And the very last thing is I want to become a little bit funnier now. I feel like I used to be pretty funny. Recently, I mean, just with honestly just the stress of life, I haven't had too much of a sense of humor recently, so I definitely need to focus on that. And that's something that you're not, I mean, you can't be born with it, but something that you can really learn. So there's a couple different ways that I have, and I'm gonna improve on that. And that's it. I mean, I'm super excited. So that's pretty much it that I have for this video. Again, we went over those 4 pillars: the health, wealth, love, and happiness. Basically my 2018 goals. Now, if you look at the next video, super exciting. That's going to be the dirt of the video, right? So exactly how I'm going to do this and exactly what you guys can do if you guys want to, kind of follow me in this journey. You guys are champions as well. I'm not the only champion, right? So I need you guys, love and support me, right? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment if you have any questions, and good luck on 2018.